morning, everybody. Welcome to the Church Express. I believe that today is it September 1st? Is it the 2nd, 3rd? Yeah, wow, September the 1st. All right, man, really excited to be here with you for the Church Express this Sunday morning. And as always, like to give folks a few minutes to join in with us to get the alert that we are now live with the Church Express. Couldn't be more excited as always to be here with you all to bring you some insight and some truth to encourage you as you take on the challenges that await you this week, as you ramp down from dealing with the challenges from this past week. But more importantly, prepare yourself for the victories that lie ahead. Because really the Church Express is really about encouragement. It's about winning. It's about being successful. It's not about failure. Greg, good morning, sir. God bless you, man. Always appreciate your kind words, man. You don't know how much that means. Words go a very, very long way. And the Bible is very clear that death and life is in the power of the tongue. And so words mean a lot. So thank you so much for your encouragement, all of you who continue to encourage me to keep going and to be less interested in going viral and more interested in taking you vertical. And that's the goal of the Church Express, not to go viral, but to help folks go vertical, go higher in life, more significant, more fulfilling, more purposeful, purpose-driven, cause-driven, mission-driven, love-driven. You know, that's what it's about. And bringing the truth with no strings attached, very few bells, very few whistles, but the truth unadulterated. And the only obligation you have is to take the information that you've been given and do something with it. Don't sit on knowledge. Don't sit on information. Don't sit on insight. Do something with what you learned. And that's my prayer that will happen today after all you listen to what I'm sharing with you today. That you would go vertical, that you would take responsibility for what you just learned and do something with it. So with that, again, I encourage everybody, Encouragement Unlimited and Associates, we're right here on Facebook. I'm also at Kirk Ray Smith on Twitter and Kirk Ray on Instagram. And I'll start doing a little bit more there, some shorter videos on Instagram. I haven't done much there lately, but we're going to kind of pick that up. But again, I always here on Facebook, again, Encouragement Unlimited and Associates, and of course my personal page, Kirk Ray Smith. So feel free to follow, friend me, whatever, I'm down. Also, we have a group called Bow Ties and Cigars, and that's our men's group, professional guys. We get together every month and hang out. We don't always smoke cigars, and everyone doesn't wear bow ties, but we get together and do something. The next thing we're going to do, I think, is going to be, I believe in October. I'm not sure the date, but I know it's a Thursday night. We're going to be watching some Thursday night football over at Buffalo Wild Wings here in Oldsmar, Florida. So looking forward to that. But at any rate, let's get lifted. So today, I want to talk to you about really this hope that we all have to see good days. And the reality is there are some very, very depressed people in our midst. There's some very sad people. There's folks that are struggling. There's some folks who are accustomed to drama, who are accustomed to things not working out for them, don't have a whole lot of good days. If you talk to them and ask them how things are going, they may say okay, but they really don't mean it. You have people who have difficulty enjoying themselves and everything whenever things are okay, because they are looking forward to, for the sky to fall. They have a hard time enjoying good days because they're so used to bad days, and they're so used to things going wrong and things not working out. And in their mind, it's only a matter of time before whatever this thing is will eventually fail. And that's unfortunate, but that's a reality for a lot of people. And a lot of us, we do have trouble and difficulties in our lives, and a lot of things going on in our lives. And the reality is there's only so much we have control over. Now, I will say this, that you have more control than you think. Most of your problems are not external, they're internal. And usually the most difficult or the most challenging issue we all have is ourselves and not others. It's not circumstances. It's not geographic locations, but it's us. And our biggest issue most often in life is ourselves. And I wish young people could hear what I'm getting ready to say now. And if you have a young person in your life, a teenager, if you have a family member, whomever in your life, a child, a friend, an associate, I want to make sure they hear this part here. So I remember I was at a high school, and it had to be, I don't know, 300-400 students. And I was giving this talk, right? They had invited me over to an assembly to give a talk. And I remember the kids, they were disrespectful. And some of you heard this story before, but they were laughing, and really the principal couldn't get their attention. They were just super loud. And I got up there and started laughing really hard on the microphone. And all of a sudden, they got quiet. And I kept laughing. So all of a sudden, all eyes were on me. And I kept laughing and laughing. And then somebody finally said, well, what's so funny? And I said, what's funny is when I look at you guys in high school, first of all, I see myself. And I get it, when you're young, you know everything. And you got it all figured out. The girls want to be pretty. And all of a sudden, somebody told me they look good. So they want to, wear the little tight clothes and do all of that. And the guys, they want to be hard and tough and look buff or whatever. I get it. But you make a lot of bad decisions when you're young. But the reality is at that time, everybody's equal, right? Everybody's equal. Everybody's in school. Everybody's equal. But what happens is over time, you start to separate. And that separation is caused by decisions that you make that starts to separate you from each other. So some kids decide they want to skip school and don't want to pay attention or ultimately drop out. Okay. Some kids decide they want to work hard and continue to work on their studies and do what they need to do. Okay. Some kids want to hang out, they want to smoke, they want to drink, they want to commit crime, whatever. Some girls want to sleep around, have lots of boyfriends. Some guys want to sleep around, have lots of girlfriends. I get it, do whatever. But eventually, those decisions are going to start to create some distinctions between all these people, these 400 students that are in the same room. You're going to start to look different over time based on your decisions. And so we can all attest to that we made decisions at a young age that has impacted us now either positively or negatively, right or wrong. And so while you all look the same right now, over time, you're going to separate based on your decisions. And you're going to be put in these stratas, put in these groups, and start to look different, although you're the same age, but you're not in the same place. Although you had a similar start, you had an equal start, you had a fair start, because all you started in the same place. But for some reason, you begin to separate because you made different decisions. And I can remember girls in high school who were beautiful to me. Beautiful in high school. And then you saw them 10 years after graduation, and they look a mess, beat up, tore up from the floor up, because of what they've been through. And they were what all the guys wanted in high school. Now look at them. Boys the same way, all the great looking guys, athletes, great bodies, and all this other stuff. But then 10 years later, look at them. They're a mess. Lives are in shambles. Why? Because of decisions. And see, here's what happens, folks. Our decisions will separate us and make us different. So you may start off one way on equal footing. Everybody's in the same place, same geographic location, same building, same experiences. But I'm telling you, decisions will change you. And here's what happens. You're going to have really, really bad days and really, really difficult days if you keep making bad decisions. There are bad days ahead if you keep making poor decisions. Your selections are wrong. So I want to share a scripture, which is only 2 verses. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 and 11. I'm going to read 2 verses, the King James Version and then what they call New Living, which is a little bit plainer, more plain English. But here it is, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 and 11. And here's how it reads. And this is the King James Version. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. Verse 11, let him eschew evil, that means turn away from it, and do good, and let him seek peace and ensue it. Now here's a New Living Translation. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10 and 11. For the scriptures say, if you want a happy life and good days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and keep your lips from telling lies. Verse 11, turn away from evil and do good, work hard at living in peace with others. Now see, the Bible is real clear that If you want good days and you want a long life, turn away from evil and do good. Right now, I can tell you right now, I am as far as you can get away from being perfect. I have a lot of things wrong with me, and it's probably going to be the case until the day I leave this earth. Because once I figure out how to overcome one thing, I figure out I got another issue. So I've resigned to believe and accept the fact that it's impossible to be perfect in this life, in this body. But it is possible for me to pursue perfection. And by virtue of my pursuit of perfection, that makes me perfect. So what I'm saying is that he's given us, God has given us a chance and given us a way to have long life and good days. Now see, I don't want to just live long. I want to live a good life. I want my life to be good. Yes, drama comes, drama goes, but I don't want that to be the rule of the day. Like I want challenges and bad things to be the exception, not the norm. But for many of us, bad things are the norm for us. And we are accustomed to pain and things not working, and we get used to it. And we accept it as part of who we are in our human experience. How depressing. We accept it and we believe this is our lot. This is God's will. But it can't be. Because again, if that's God's will, then what I just read to you was a lie. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. The scriptures say, if you want a happy life and good days, that's what the Bible says. I didn't make this up. If you want a happy life and good days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and keep your lips from telling lies. Turn away from evil and do good. Work hard at living in peace with others. That means effort. To do good takes effort. To do evil takes effort. To do wrong takes effort. To stir up drama takes effort. To seek peace takes effort. You see, it all takes effort. So the question we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to put our effort into? What are we going to work hard at? And I want what the Bible said I could have. If you want a happy life and good days, listen, I don't want to live long and be sad. Right? I want to live long and be happy. Now, let's make sure we understand what this means. This does not mean that there won't be challenges. Right? We know that. We all know if you live life, listen, if you live for 1 year, you know you're going to have challenges. That's just the way it is. However, challenges don't have to win out. Difficulty does not have to win out. Drama does not have to win out. Sadness does not have to win out. Being broke does not have to win out. Being lonely does not have to win out. Being divorced does not have to win out. Adultery does not have to win out. No purpose does not have to win out. Insecurity does not have to win out. Alcoholism does not have to win out. Drug abuse does not have to win out. See, you can win. You can be successful and live a good life with challenges. And frankly speaking, challenges are sometimes good for us because they help us. Although experience is a great teacher, adversity is a better teacher. So adversity sometimes is more than appropriate for us as we live this life. We need challenges every now and again to remind us of our frailty and our weaknesses and our dependency on God. That's a good thing. And sometimes when you go through challenges, you go back and reassess and clean up some things and make better decisions. But again, I want to hone in on what the Bible just said it takes, or what the formula is, to live a happy life and to live good days. The Bible says, keep your tongue from speaking evil. So you have to figure out a way to walk away from using the darkest language you can think of. And a lot of this comes down to, again, making better choices. So you have to become a better person. So here's how you become a better person, okay? I know they got all these how-to books, and you can, listen, there's probably some on how to be better and be great and successful. There's probably 1 trillion books, I get it. But I'm going to give you some basic stuff on how to be better. All right? This don't require, this ain't going to cost you a thing. You ain't got to pay for this. You ain't got to go online and look for it and or go pay some cover charge to go hear somebody preach to you. What I'm telling you is the truth right here. Is that if you want to be a better person, start hanging around better people. Start hanging around and being at better places. And start making better choices. Again, if you want to be better, get around better people. You know, start visiting and spending times in better places and start making better choices. And if you do better, you will be better, because it's impossible to hang around better people. It's impossible to hang around better places. It's impossible to make better choices and not become a better person. Does that make sense? So if you're longing to see good days and more good days and a string of good days, not just a good day every now and then, but how about going on a winning streak for a change in your life and knowing what it's like for things to work out for a long time consecutively for you and not just every now and then or occasional victories? Do you want to know what it's like to win all the time and have a series of guarantees and promises that you can walk in, that you know God promised you? It doesn't matter what other people are saying, but you know what God has promised you in your heart and what he's told you, and listen, you know, and go into things knowing it's going to work out, knowing you're going to have fun, knowing this is going to be awesome. See, you can live that reality if you do better. Again, hang around better people. Let's touch on that for a minute. Get around people who are positive and not these Debbie Downers, Dexter Downers, and people who are always negative. Get away from them. Send them a text message and say, you know what? I'm signing out. I can't anymore. Leave them a voicemail. Send them an email, something. Walk away from it. Get around positive people who are moving in a direction that you aspire to move in, or a direction you're moving in yourself. Get around people who will challenge you, not people who are inferior to you. See, when you hang around inferior people, you need to be very, very careful. I want to caution you, because inferior people, the first chance they get to bring you down, they will. Why will an inferior person bring you down? I'm so glad you asked. More than likely, the reason this person feels inferior to you is because they believe you have or you are something they can't be. And so one of the reasons they despise you secretly is because they recognize, and you unknowingly remind them of their inferiority. You remind them that they're inferior by virtue of you just being you. So that right there is a threat, because the first chance they get to bring you down, they're going to do it to backstab you, to do you wrong. They're going to do it because you remind them of their weaknesses. And no one likes to be reminded of their weaknesses. No one likes to be reminded that they can't be something that they want to be. And so the best thing they can do, because they can't achieve what you've achieved, or they can't arrive to where you arrive, the best thing they can do is bring you down at least to their level so they can feel better about themselves. That's the danger of hanging around inferior people. So although a lot of times we pursue and we want to hang around weaker people, and we want to hang around people we can control and dominate, those are some dangerous individuals to be around. You want to be around people that are going to push you. You want to be around people that are going to challenge you. You want to hang around people that will inspire you to do great and to be better. That's who you hang around. See, those are better people. See, those are the kind of folks you need to surround yourself with and associate with, because iron absolutely does sharpen iron, and hanging around stronger, more confident, more driven, more focused, more professional people will make you more confident, more driven, and more professional. The second thing I said is start hanging around better places. Now, I am not a judge, okay? So don't take this. If you do this stuff, I'm not judging you, okay? But I got to keep it 100, as they say. You tell me how being in a club makes you better. Tell me how hanging out in the club, everybody drinking and smoking, you know what the goal is. Like, most people don't go to clubs because they just want to hang out and have a few drinks. You don't need to go to the club to do that. There's a lot of places you can go hang out and have a few drinks. Most people at that club, because they're looking for somebody, they're looking for sex, they're looking for relationships, they're looking to do whatever, right, to take advantage, whatever it is. Come on now, you know what the motive is. And you tell me that makes you better. Now, you may go out and have fun, I guess, and enjoy yourself, but when you look back on it, did it improve you? Did it make you better or make you worse? Again, I'm not judging you, okay? Going to everybody's, pool parties and hanging out with certain people, and these people negative. See, listen, you attract who you are, not who you want. So if you go around a bunch of people who are negative and foul, like say you got some friends or associates that are just negative and they're foul and guys ain't no good, they cheat on their wives, their girlfriends, whatever. Okay, now, if you go hang with them, who do you think will be at that party or that gathering? People like them, right? You attract who you are, not who you want. So people go where people go. People go where it's familiar. They go where they're comfortable. They hang around people who are like-minded. And so if that's the environment you choose to be in, then okay, choose to be in it then. If that's what you want to be, say you're newly married, nothing against single people, but I probably won't be spending a whole lot of time with single people if I'm newly married. I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time with people that have been married 2, 3, 4, 5 times, divorced all these different times. I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time with those people. No offense, but I'm not sure they can offer me anything. What I want to do is I want to hang around successful couples who figured it out, couples who are strong, who have a bond, who genuinely love each other. If I'm a young man and I got a new bride, listen, no disrespect to all my former friends, but I can't hang around a bunch of single dudes. What are they going to tell me? How are they going to help me get through situations with my wife? How many of those guys are going to tell me to go home to my wife when she's acting up? What about when my wife don't want to have sex with me, like she did when before we got married and like she did when we were on the honeymoon? And let's say, well, now a year later we hit a bump and she ain't really down for that like she used to be. So I'm going to go to my friend and say, hey, man, what should I do? My wife, she don't want to sleep with me, man. It's like once a month. What you think my friend's going to tell me? Go home with your wife and cuddle? Right? What they going to tell you? I mean, keep going. What they going to tell you? Oh, man, she better give you what you deserve, or you're going to find somebody else, or, whatever. I mean, come on. What are they going to say? So a married man, I would think, who loves his wife and committed to her, who's probably been through this, probably say, man, well, listen, just be patient. Look, hold her. Sometimes, she just want to be held, tell her you love her. And I know, but sometimes you got to take control over your body. You know what I mean? You got to learn how to manage your impulses and calm yourself down and just deal with it, because that's your wife. That's your wife for life. And she's worth the wait. She was worth the wait when you was dating her. You know what I mean? And she's worth the wait even more so now that she's your wife. And be patient and wait. See, that's what a married man's going to say. A married man's going to say, man, just hold it down. It'll be all right, man. Just hold her, tell her you love her. You understand. She ain't off the hook. It's what she's supposed to. It's her obligation at some point, but don't force her. She'll be all right. Maybe it's something going on with her mentally. Maybe she needs to talk to you more. Maybe you're not listening to her enough, because that's how it works with a lot of women I know. I know for my wife, it ain't going to be a whole, I got to listen to my wife. I got to pay attention to her. It's all about how she's treated. It ain't all physical with our women like it is with guys. And see, that's what a married guy going to tell you. But then you want to run with these single dudes, or these dudes that have had 2 or 3 wives, or who might have a wife and cheating on them. Them ain't the people you want to hang around, because they're going to bring you down. And then here's what happens. Remember I told you about that inferior folks? When they see you in a strong marriage and they see that you're committed to your wife and your wife is committed to you, that's intimidating for some people. They're intimidated by the fact that the power of love between you and your spouse. Some folks get turned off by that because it confuses them, that kind of love. Plenty of times I remember folks used to pick on Vanessa and I, because say we'll go out somewhere and I'll see something I like for, say, $50, and she'll see something she likes for $50. Then I'll go buy what she wanted for $50, and she'll go buy what I wanted for $50. And then people would laugh, like, why do y'all do that? Why not just buy it for yourself? But they don't understand that's how we roll. She wants to see me in a pair of shoes or something that she brought for me. She want to see them on my feet that she brought. And me likewise, I want to see her in an outfit or whatever that I paid for. That's what we do. That's how we roll. See, that's how we do what we do. You know what I mean? But how many single people going to tell you that? Or people who are not serious about their marriage, what kind of advice they going to give you? And that's what I'm saying. And then you get some women, again, who put their husbands down, right? Or their man down, who may not make a lot of money, but they put him down because he don't make enough or he don't have all these nice things. I've seen that too. But what you should be saying, if your husband stacked boxes for a living, what you should be doing are telling him how great he is at stacking boxes and that he's the best in the business at that. That's what a man needs to hear. Not how listen, don't nobody need you to remind them that they're struggling. What you need to remind them of is who they are and what they can accomplish. No one, listen, a person that's struggling, the last thing you can do is tell them they're struggling. They know that. What you need to tell them is what they can do and what they can accomplish and how this is momentary. See, that's the kind of thing you're going to get from other people who've been together and know how to stay together. Because when you truly love a person, listen, you can't just be blown away by your impulses. And when somebody else try to creep into your relationship, if you truly love a person, it's going to take more than somebody's physical attributes for you to drift away. And if you drift away, that ain't true love anyway. You know, again, if you hang around better people and get in better environments, you're going to get better results and become a better person, have a better life. And the other thing I said is make better choices. And see, here's what happens with choices and decisions. I'm going to help you now. Again, this is at no cost, man. This is only thing it's costing you is a little bit of your time. A few minutes out of your week is all it's costing you. There ain't no cover charge. I ain't asked you to mail no money nowhere. Ain't no admission fee. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you the straight truth. The Bible says if you want to live a happy life in good days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and keep your lips from telling lies, right? Turn away from evil and do good. Work hard at living in peace with others. That's what the Bible says. So I'm trying to help you get your life right? I'm trying to help you get yourself together. Hear me out. So making choices. So here's what you have to do. There's 3 segments of who you are, who we are on the inside that have to come together before you make decisions, particularly major decisions, right? You got to get your heart in the room, get your mind in the room, and get your emotions in the room. So at the table is your heart, your mind, and your emotions. All 3 aspects of who you are. Now I want you to visualize this with me for a minute. But all 3 of those segments of who you are, put them at the same table. Your heart, your mind, and your emotions. Sit together, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to have better days. You want a good life. You want a happy life, right? Enough of this bad stuff. Enough of this sad stuff. Enough of being down. Enough of being frustrated. Enough of being sad all the time. Okay, enough is enough. Somebody say that with me. Enough is enough. Okay, now. So a lot of times in your heart, you know what you want to do, right? In your heart, you know this is what you need to do. But then sometimes you can overthink things, and then you can think your way out of a blessing and think your way out of something you know you should be doing because you're thinking about, you're too scared. Your mind can make you afraid. On the other hand, your emotions, though, they can cause you to make mistakes because it's in the moment. Because again, emotions, they ebb and flow, and you can't trust them. So a lot of times you say and do things that you don't mean out of emotion. So you got to watch your emotions because they can hurt you. Now, I'm not saying emotions can't help you at times, but we have to be careful not to make emotional decisions at the time because we're not in our right mind when you're too emotional. But when you can calm down, right, because you can redirect your emotions, certainly, and you put some thought to it, you can move in the right direction. So now, in your heart of hearts, you know what you need to do. Now, most of us, I'm going to assume that everyone listening to me, you know what you need to do in many cases. So whether you listen to me on Facebook or YouTube, you know what you need to do, right? As you listen to me speak, you know that you need to make some changes. Okay, you know that. Don't let your mind steal that from you. Don't let your emotions make you act too quickly. So don't let your mind slow you down. Don't let your emotions cause you to go too fast. Does that make sense? And so what I've decided to do is declare war on messes in my life. And so you got to learn to declare war, flat out war on stuff, war on your emotions, war on your sensitivities, war on the wrong type of people, war on bad decisions, war on your finances, war when it comes to your career, when it comes to your education. You got to declare war on this stuff and get radical if you're going to bring about real change in your life and have long days, happy days, a good life. Declare war on the darkness in your life. Fight that stuff. Fight it. Resist it. Right? Stand up against yourself and stop letting yourself do damage to you. Listen, we have no control over people. Like, listen, I'm out of that business. I left that business a long time ago. It took me a while to learn, but I resigned. I retired from the business of trying to change people. People are people, and they're going to be who they are. It is not my job to change you. Your change is between you and God. I have no control over people. However, I have control over Kirk Ray Smith. So I can declare war on stuff inside of me that's causing me problems, that's getting in my way and making it difficult for me. I can declare war on that stuff and learn how to follow my heart more often. Use that intuition that God has given me, that discernment. Learn how to stop allowing my emotions to take over the moment and rule the day and ruin my life. Learn how to stop overthinking things and let my mind and my fears create obstacles and gates and hurdles in my mind that keep me from getting where I need to be. I can declare war on that stuff. I can take better care of myself. If you need to get in the gym, then do it. What is it going to cost you? $10 a month? Declare war on being all a slug and sitting around and doing nothing and sedimentary. Declare war on that. Read, get your brain right, become more educated and knowledgeable. Come on, declare war. Because the Bible said right here, and I'm going to read the scripture and wrap up one more time for you. 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 10 and 11. Simple. I'm going to read the New Living Translation, plain English. For the scriptures say, if you want a happy life and good days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and keep your lips from telling lies. All right, stop talking all crazy and stop lying and get honest. Verse 11, turn away from evil and do good. Work hard at living in peace with others. Make an effort. And your life will be good, man. Better. Listen, I'm not saying there's no challenges. Who am I to say that? But you can live a much better life if you, again, get around better people. Hang around better places and make better choices, and your life will be better. Better than it is, better than it's ever been. So with that, we'll sign off. Have a great Labor Day. Be safe out there. Have a good time. Enjoy your friends and your families. I know me, I am going to relax on Labor Day. Like later on today and tomorrow, I'm total relaxation, man. I need to veg and chill because I am tired. I don't know about y'all, but these are like rest days for me. But because September is going to be a very busy month. Not that it's going to be my birthday or anything like that. I mean, I didn't want to mention that because it's not about me. It's about, you guys. But no. But enjoy your holiday. I'll catch you guys next week. 1.